You can put me in with Gordy. And good evening, everybody. Here tonight with CORA, Championship Online Racing Association. We're here at Michigan Speedway for, I believe it's 125 laps in the Indy car. A little bit of open wheel racing here tonight. Look at speeds at about 225 plus miles an hour. Working the booth with me tonight, Kyle Young in the house. Laura, of course, pushing the buttons down on Pier Road, down in the trailer down behind us here, but. Kyle, thanks for joining me here tonight, bud.
Not a problem, JD. Glad to be here to call another CORA Sunday morning race. Going to be a fun one here with the Indy cars at Michigan. Going to be a bad, fast race here tonight.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what. Last week at Bristol, what a race that was. 150 laps later, 14 cautions. Gary Bauer takes the trophy home with Chase Caber and Chris Mark finishing second and third. Dale Smalley, I believe he's a points leader coming into Michigan tonight with a top five finish at Bristol last week. Nathan Sedlak rounding out your top five from Bristol last week. The points look like this here at Bristol at Michigan. Starting out at the top, Dale Smalley still holding down the fort. 60 points behind him is Michael Churchma, up a couple of positions this week. Mark Montanari, he sits in third, 69 points behind Dale Smalley up there on the top. And then Dallas Maracle, I love the card that he sometimes brings to the races, the Kinfolk. He sits in fourth, down a couple of notches this week, however, 73 behind. Paul Duchette, he sits in fifth position, up a couple of notches this week, 75 behind, just a couple of points off of Dallas Miracle there in fourth. Garrett Denton, he sits 86 behind, down a notch this week, sixth position in seventh, up a couple of notches. Sean Dewar, he's 108 behind the leaders at the top of the pile there, but like I said, up a couple of notches this week. And then running an even keel in eighth, Everett D. Lane, 110 behind, just a couple of notches off of Sean Dewar there. Sitting in ninth rather, up three positions this week. Nathan Sedlak working himself up into a top 10 here, 114 back. Rounding out your top 10 for CORA, Championship Online Racing here on Sunday Night Racing. Up one position, Galen Gidman, 128 behind. All right, and we're going to send it down on trackside for the invocation for tonight's race.
We ask that you all rise, and gentlemen, please remove your caps, as Reverend Dusty Dent gives our pre-race invocation.
Dear Lord, let us pray. We want to thank you, Lord, for all we have. Dear Lord, we ask you that you protect those men and women who serve us both here and abroad. And oh Lord, we give thanks to those who have served us and have given that ultimate sacrifice that we may enjoy the liberties that we have today. And oh Lord, we ask you that you give these drivers the skill and the good internet connection so that we may be given a race like no other. Lord, we ask you that our racing give us the green-white checkers that we so deserve, and that we may enjoy an exciting race to the finish we all want to see. Lord, may you heighten the senses and protect these drivers so that they can give us a three-wide door-banging race to the checker flag tonight. And can we all say amen? And I'll say amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as we proudly introduce Jaden Berkey to sing our national anthem.
God be the Lamb, glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And now at this time, the five sons of our CEO, James Brown, Alex, Andrew, Nick, Cody, and Ethan, will deliver the four most famous words in all of automotive racing. Good luck, drivers. To all those watching, it's time to sit back, relax, and strap it down. Let's go Sunday money racing, CORA style.
And with the invocation here, we're going to go ahead and run them down through the grid here, starting on the pole here at Michigan Speedway tonight. Dallas Markle in the number 48 machine. Outside him in the number 78, that belongs to Michael Johnson. In the second row, in the third position, the 88 car belongs to Michael Turchma. Gary Bauer, he'll be starting on the outside in the 07. In fifth position, the number 18, that belongs to Jay Anderson. Michael Vanostal, he'll be starting in the 83 machine out on the outside. On the inside in seventh position, the 69, Dale Smalley, your points leader. Colton Berkey, he'll be starting on the outside, number 81 in eighth position. Ninth belongs to Everett D. Lane in that number 1 machine. Kevin McCarthy in the 44, he'll be starting 10th on the outside. Kyle.
Alan Larson in the 24 going to be lining up 11th here tonight with Mark Montiniers 14 on his outside and 12. Gordon Berkey going to be starting in 13th and Garrett Denton 14th in the 99. Glenn Sauv in the number 37 is going to be lining up 15th, and Lance Mead in the 70 car to his outside in 16th. Nathan Sedlak in the 35 going to roll off 17th. James Thorndike in the 59 18th. Barry Winburn's number 10 is going to be 19th and running out the top 20. Galen Gidman in the 04.
Ben Manning, Scott Amy, Eric Mark, Ron McMahon, Carl Jones, David Parks, John Larson, Ralph Shipman, Colin Foreman, Sean Dewar, and Joel Wood, James Brown, he'll be a shotgun on the field here tonight for the rest of the field. Coming off turn 4, pace car getting ready to go south on pit road here. 125 laps in open wheel cars here. Look for speeds in excess of 225 miles an hour going into turn 1 off the front stretch here. So this ought to be a lickety split race here tonight. Of course, this is CORA Championship Online Racing Association. And the Sunday Money Series green flag is out, and Dallas Markle gets off to a huge jump here on the field with Johnson and Churchman side by side. I'll tell you what, Dallas Markle off to a huge run into turn 1.
A wonderful start by Dallas Miracle, but probably not going to be his best bet. As we see at tracks like Daytona and Talladega, that is a Daytona and Talladega race for these guys out here tonight. These Indy cars can run flat out around this track, and the draft is going to be extremely important. So it wouldn't surprise me here within these next 2 or 3 laps that pack closes right up on Dallas Miracle. And very surprisingly, these guys single file out right away, and they start running that low line. Lap 1 is complete. Dallas Miracle out to a 0.6 of a second lead after the first lap. 35 seconds, these guys getting around here tonight.
Dale Smalley sitting here in 8th position, 224 miles an hour as he goes into turn 1. Down the backstretch they go, single file all the way around. Double file back here about 11th position. Alan Larson on the inside of the 14. That's going to be Mike Montanari up there on the top side. Mike looks like he's got the hammer down here with Alan Larson down in the middle. But here comes Gordon Berkey, going to make it 3 wide down the front stretch going into turn 1. Berkey backs off the throttle here. It'll be 2 wide going in with the 14 still on the outside.
14 on the outside. Gordon Berkey getting the run on the inside, trying to make the pass. He does. He washes up, clears him down the back straightaway, and now pulls in right in line behind the 24. Peeks to the outside to try to make the pass heading into turn number 3. He rides the outside. The 24, Alan Larson, down on the inside. No contest for pass quite yet. Berkey going to try to get the run coming off the turn. Still sticks to the top side. He pulls side by side with him at the line, but right now it is still Alan Larson with the advantage as they head down into turn number 1, and he will keep that position as they work their way through 1 and 2.
Now we've got a herd of cars back here, about 16th position forward. Nathan Sedlick in the 35 out in front. Lance Mead, Glenn Suave, Garrett Denton also in that number 14 machine. So kind of a herd of cars back here as they get it all straightened out. 2 by 2 here for a little bit. But Scott Amy in the 18th machine on the 55 car up on the top side here. He's 2 by 2 with, I believe that's going to be John Larson on the bottom here in 19th position. So as these guys duke it out back here in the back, Dallas Miracle off to a huge run up here in the front as we get things rolling here. That's going to be almost 0.7 of a second out in front of Michael Churchma as we watch Dallas Miracle come off of turn 3, around turn 4, and head down the front stretch. He'll take that bottom line right next to the grass down there. And, of course, that's no man's land if you get him two tires across that grassy area down there. But Miracle certainly setting a very quick pace here at Michigan.
I'm really surprised, JD. Kind of made me look a little bit foolish, Dallas Miracle is right now. I figured the pack was going to be able to close right up on him, and he would be a sitting duck when they did, but obviously that is not the case. Dallas Miracle figured something out here that obviously I don't know. And he is sitting right now 7.5 tenths in front of Michael Churchma here at the line. We'll see what the gap is right now. It doesn't look like it's shrinking any dramatic amount, and it's not. Churchma falls back just a little bit, now just under 0.8 of a second behind Dallas Miracle. I am very, very surprised that Miracle is being this strong all by himself at a track that the draft is so very, very important.
Yeah, it sounds like we've got one in the wall already. I think it's a 37 machine from what I'm hearing. Glenn Suave, but looks like he's okay. He's down on the apron here coming off of turn 4. He may be headed down pit road here to get some damage fixed on that number 37 machine of his. Running in about 15th as he comes down pit road, gets the binders on, and spins it around right at the commit line here on pit road at Michigan Speedway. So our first incident of the night. However, it is not a caution. Caution lights did not come on, but Glenn Suave in the 37 machine spins it out right here on pit road. And he's got some work ahead of him as he heads down into his pit box. So first incident of the night belonging to Glen Swab. Michigan Speedway, guys, let's talk about this track for a minute here, Kyle. 2-mile track, and this is one fast track. It doesn't matter what car you're in. It's big, it's fat, it's wide, and the turns are banked at about 18 degrees. A lot of help there. The front stretch, however, is banked at, I think it's 12 degrees here at Michigan, right at the start-finish line, and it's kind of progressive going into, coming off for 3 and 4, going into turn 1 and 2. You still have that banking effort right there in the middle of the track even. And it's a D-shaped oval. The only straight place back here is on the backstretch, and it's a long one.
Indeed it is, JD. These guys going to be experiencing some very fast speeds that we have already mentioned. Right now, Dallas Miracle sitting out in the field, just reaching 220 miles an hour as he heads into turn number 3. These guys are going to be able to use this banking to their advantage, with this track being as wide and as big as it is. They don't have to lift here at all. It's pretty much, as I had mentioned before, a super speedway race for these guys, and the draft is going to be a fairly important deal when you're trying to close in and trying to catch up and make some passes on people. But for the most part, if you're running in a safe pack, you can ride around flat foot at very fast speeds. And these highly banked turns really help these guys keep their speeds up. And we all know that the Indy cars have a lot of grip on these tires and with these race cars, and that makes it even easier for these guys to hang it flat out here.
Eric Mark back here about 15th position. He was looking on the inside of the 59 of James Thorndike up here in front of him. Kind of a herd of cars out in front of Eric Mark here, all the way back here in 15th position. But as it goes right now down the front stretch, he's kind of backed off of it a little bit. Looking on the inside again, and here he comes. Eric Mark trying to get something going on the 59, but has to back way out of the throttle down there on the bottom of the track. He lets the 59 go with the Galen Gidman machine. That's going to be the 04 car out in front of him, and Garen Denton as well. So Eric Mark looking to put something together here, just can't quite get it done. Possibly a little bit too much horsepower, too low on the track down there on the bottom. I think what I'm seeing these guys, looks like the optimum line here at Michigan is somewhere around the middle of the track here as we watch these guys put 13 laps in the books here at Michigan.
Yeah, GD, these guys are going to be running right around the middle of the track, at least in the turns. The lower these guys go in the turns, it can be a bit loose for them. Some of them are going to be able to get away with running down to the bottom, just how the driver prefers to run. All night so far that we've seen these guys running right down on the apron and right just above that white line down on the tri-oval, which it is legal for you to pass down on that apron. It isn't illegal at all, so you can use that to your advantage. But in the turns, these guys are going to be running to the middle groove, a little bit lower than what you would see a stock car run here, because of these guys having much more grip than a stock car does, and they can run it flat out. But still right around the middle of the track, not overly low, and they're definitely not going to be running up top. That's not a preferred line for these guys at all, and it'd be really hard to make a pass up top.
And this is the Small Town Computers 250 here at Michigan tonight, although it's 125 laps. I'm watching Galen Gidman here, 13th position in the 04. He's got Garen Denton and Gordon Berkey out in front. These guys have been following each other now pretty much since the get-go. 15 laps in the books, but none of these guys look like they're in too big of a hurry to really get anywhere. Galen Gidman in the 04 machine looks like he's getting into his turns. He's staying in that middle lane up there. However, the two cars in front of him, that's going to be Denton and Berkey, kind of taking a mid to bottom lane through the turns here as we watch them come off of turn 4. But Galen Gidman seems to be occupying from the mid line up to closer to the wall here a little bit, as he's got, I think that's going to be Thorndike breathing down his neck. The 59 machine for the pass going through turns 3 and 4 here, and looks like he's going to get it. So as Thorndike passes Galen Gidman here, 16 laps in the books here at Michigan Speedway for Sunday money.
They fan out nearly 3 wide heading into turn number 1, but they single file back out. This pack of 6, these guys, the 11th through 16th place cars, this pack of 6 just kind of hanging out, riding around, getting some laps in. They're about 4 seconds off of the leaders, so they're not right up front, but they're running some laps. This race so far, green flag through 17 laps. They're getting the chance to feel their cars out and kind of ride around, survive, and make it to the first pit stops or the first caution flag, whichever one comes first. But not really strong competition competitive-wise for these guys right now, but they are learning a lot about their cars and learning what they need to do. And I'm seeing in that big lead pack in front of them, I think we got quite a bit of side-by-side racing action going on in that pack. Looks like it's a 2x2 pack for the most part, as that massive pack for the lead there. I think that's just off of from 4th down to 10th or so, running side-by-side coming into turn 1 right now.
And Dallas Miracle still out in front, has opened up another couple of tenths on Michael Churchma. You can count it out now, 9/10 of a second out in front of the 88 machine. Dallas Miracle pretty much on cruise control as he's coming upon the number 37 machine of Glenn Schwab. Remember, he had that issue here a few laps ago, tangled with the wall a little bit of damage on that machine of his, and then of course had that spin down there at the commit line on his entrance to pit road. So Dallas Markle about ready to put Schwab a lap down here, going through turn 2 here as he comes off on the inside, and Schwab will go down one more lap here at Michigan. And I'll tell you what, these guys, you got to check these guys out. Sunday Money Series, sponsored by the Championship Online Racing Association, CORA. You can check them out at cora-racing.com. These cowboys know how to put a good money race together. They're a very professional group, and I know all of the administrators here, the admin staff here at CORA, and a bunch of great guys. And you got to check these guys out. Get involved with Sunday Money. That's going to be cora-racing.com. In the meantime, 21 laps in the books here at Michigan. Let's step away. Let's take our first commercial break of the night. You're watching it live, ETV Live, Cowboy. So don't wander off. We'll be right back.
Race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4, and the checkered flag, he wins his first NASCAR race. Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
And a huge battle for second place going on up here. Actually, it's second, third, and fourth up here. Michael Churchma under fire from Kevin McCarthy, Gary Bauer, Colton Berkey in the house with the number 81 machine as a herd of cars start attacking Churchma up here for second place. Churchma in big trouble here. And where did Kevin McCarthy come from? Qualifying in 10th position, has worked himself all the way up into third position here at Michigan. And then everybody is chasing down Dallas Maracle, who has opened up a 1.4 second lead over the entire field here, Kyle.
Yeah, JD, I'm still in quite shock that Dallas Maracle is currently sitting almost a second and a half out in front of the field at a drafting track. That just it absolutely blows my mind away. But you know, there might not be a good battle for the actual top spot, but we sure have a great battle going on for the second spot right now, as it looks like Gary Bauer is working that outside line to try to get around Kevin McCarthy right now and try to take away that third spot to try to give a shot at Churchman. Now he gets really close to the wall and squeezes himself next to the 88 car heading into turn number 3. Going to try the side draft in the middle of the turn, can't quite get it done, and it looks like Churchman has the advantage through the middle of the turn. He clears him, and now that puts him side by side with Kevin McCarthy once again as they hit the stripe to complete lap number 29 of 125 here tonight.
And, you know, I don't know that you can bump draft in these open wheel cars, but I'll tell you what, Kevin McCarthy running down Michael Churchma up here in the front, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, these boys are getting it together here. Churchma looking on the outside here. Here comes Kevin McCarthy on the inside, side by side, down the back stretch, going into turn 3. It's going to be McCarthy on the bottom here with Bauer following him through. Van de Sol back here in the 83 car, he's watching all that happen out in front of him. He's being run down by the 81 car now. So a huge battle happening here behind Dallas Maracle, starting with Kevin McCarthy out in front in second place.
It doesn't really surprise me, JD, that Kevin was able to get to the front of this pack. He was looking very, very strong running behind Michael Churchma there. He was peeking to the inside, peeking to the outside. Looks like he wanted to get by, and he finally did. He leads this big pack, trying to reel in Dallas Miracle, and they actually gained almost a tenth and a half that last time. They cut the gap down for, whoa, a close call there for the 88 of Michael Churchma. I believe he made some contact there with the 07 of Gary Bauer. He's able to hang on, though, and everybody stays clean and green. As I was saying, they did close that gap a little bit, but that gap just opened right back up. Now it's just over a second and a half to Dallas Miracle from this pack. It probably doesn't help that these guys are running 2x2 for the majority through this pack. But even if they did get single file, it'd be interesting to see if they could run down Dallas Miracles, because Dallas has been so strong all night, and all by himself, he's just been slowly creeping away from this field and focusing mainly on just driving the track and having this race to himself.
You bet. I'll tell you what, 33 laps in the books here at Michigan Speedway, 125 on the board here tonight. Sunday Money Series. And I'll tell you what, again, Championship Online Racing Association, they qualify 3 nights a week for a shot at the Sunday Money. Drivers pay an entry fee, then a percentage of the fees are up for grabs in the Sunday night series here during the Sunday Money Series. So you can win a trip to the bank, visit them at their new website. Oh, go ahead.
The 69 machine, Dale Smalley, has gone around in turn number 4. The yellow flag, I believe, is out, but I saw that 69 get turned into the outside wall, and he's coasting down in the infield grass. First caution of the night comes out on lap 33.
Rolling it back on my monitor, take a look here. It looks like he might have had a little bit of help, and he did, and it's going to come from, I believe that's the number 1 car from Everett D. Lane. As the two hook a tire, looks like Lane hooks a tire with the 69 machine, and that's going to turn the 69 around and absolutely bring our first caution out for the night here at Michigan Speedway.
Tough break for Dallas Smalley. I believe, JD, I think you said he was our points leader. I thought it was somebody with a D, either him or Dallas Miracle. Fortunately, though, it was only a single car accident. He was running right in towards the tail of that big pack, so I didn't really catch anybody in too much of a harm. But Dale Smalley taking a hard impact with the left side to that wall. He's currently riding the wall to try to get himself around the track. And the thing with these open wheel cars is that normally wherever you hit the wall, the first thing that hits the wall is the tires. And hitting the tires wall, that screws up so much in the suspension and in the toe of these cars that it can be a very, very hard struggle to get these cars back around to the pits. So, and they're very fragile. They're very, very fragile cars. So any hard impact could end the night. So depending on how bad the damage is, Dale Smalley finally now getting down to pit road. It looks like he's having trouble steering that thing getting into the pit. So there's definitely some heavy damage to that number 69 machine. It'll be interesting to see whether those guys are going to be able to fix that machine or if they're going to have to pull it behind the wall and call it a night. But either way, a tough break for Dale Smalley. Got to give these guys a shout out though. They went over 30 laps on their opening run, so a good run for these guys to open up this event.
You bet. And Dallas Markle, he's going to be the first one off of pit road here. And I believe 9.6 second pit stop here. So, or actually, I'm hearing the 04 with a 9.6 pit stop from Laura downstairs. But Dallas Markle, first one off pit road here. Of course, like you said earlier, this kind of upsets his run here. Almost a 1.5 second lead out in front of the rest of the field. Probably setting himself up for a very fast pit stop. Unfortunately, that is not going to come. This may be the only pit stop these Cowboys make here tonight. I'm not quite sure if they're good to the end here or not. I'm not sure what kind of fuel mileage these cars get here at Michigan.
Something I'm interested in seeing here, JD, now that we've had a yellow flag, is that Dallas Marco's lead is gone. He's going to be right with his pack. It'll be interesting to see if he'll be able to pull away again, or if that pack realizes that, hey, this guy got up to a great start of this race. Let's kind of, get up on our game and make sure that doesn't happen again. Because they were having a great fight for that second spot. And I know that even though they enjoyed that battle, they'd like to be battling for the lead. Because at the end of the day, what really matters is being in that number one spot. And it's kind of hard to do that when that number one driver is a second and a half ahead of you. And you're not closing.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, I believe we can get Dallas Markle on the radio. Dallas, this is Kyle and JD up here in the booth. You got us, bud?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, you had a 1.5 second lead up until that caution. What were your plans as far as pit stops leading up to that caution? You're thinking you were good to go here, opening up that huge lead?
Yeah, I was looking forward to see what was going to happen. I think I was going to pit around 40, but since we got this caution, we're probably still going to have to pit about 2 more times, unless we have another caution.
Quite a battle behind you with Churchman, Bauer, McCarthy starting in 10th position, working himself up into the top 5. You looking back in your mirror, wondering where in the hell these guys came from?
Yeah, I was definitely looking back there, seeing what was going on, trying to figure out what was holding them up. I thought they would be up there right with me.
I'll tell you what, they'll be running you down now on the restart for sure, and good luck to you, Dallas.
Thanks, JD.
Dallas Miracle, I tell you what, this Cowboy can put it together. Had a 1.5 second lead, Kyle, but he may be in trouble now with these boys running him down.
Yeah, for sure, JD. Like I said, I'm very interested to see what's going to happen off of this restart, whether he's going to be able to open up that gap again and pull away from this, or if these guys are going to stick with him. And if they do stick with him, are they going to be able to actually stay with him, or is Dallas Miracle just that strong, and will he actually be able to pull away from the pack himself? That'll be very interesting to see. Looks like the lights are out atop of the pace car, and we are getting set to go green this time by a couple cars, taking the wave around and getting one of their laps back. And the field will double up, and we will get ready to go back green flag racing, completing lap number 37 when we do that.
That's going to be Joel Wood in the number 79 machine, and Ben Manning in the 67 with the wave around. That's going to put Dallas Markle back out in front. And as the folks are watching this on the ETVLIVE broadcast, those 2 cars were not the leaders. Those were actually lap cars. They did not pit, opted for a wave around, and so they'll get their lap back and put them on the lead lap. So that's Joel Wood and Ben Manning heading. Actually, Ben Manning is 4 laps down. Wood was only 1 lap down. He'll be back on the lead lap as he comes back around. Top 5 on the restart: Dallas Markle, Michael Vandesol, Michael Churchma in third. Fourth belongs to the 07 of Gary Bauer. Kevin McCarthy in that 44 machine. Where did he come from, Cowboy? I tell you what, qualifying in 10th here tonight. McCarthy has just hot-footed his little butt right up into the top 5 here. So I look for that 44 machine to be right there with Miracle here before this thing is over. At Michigan tonight. CORA, Championship Online Racing Association. This is how it is, Cowboy. These are some of the best guys you've ever want to watch here on a Sunday night. And it's all for the money. I mean, you can qualify 3 nights a week, get a shot at the Sunday money, win a trip to the bank. Pace car is pulling off. Miracle sucking them up tight here. Johnson on the outside. Churchman right behind him with Gary Bauer. The green flag is out. And Miracle off to another huge lead. Huge jump on the restart. He is just a master at these restarts, Kyle.
Not only did Dallas Miracle get it off to a great start, how about the 07 of Gary Bauer restarting back in 4th place for this one? Gets a great jump and moves himself to 2nd place off a 3-wide pass at the start-finish line. Miracle pulling away once again and leaving these guys side by side for 2nd place. Michael Churchman, Gary Bauer in the middle of 3 and 4. Looks like Churchman's going to be able to clear and move himself into 2nd place. But Dallas Miracle once again off to a great start. Probably helped a little bit that Michael Churchman spun his tires there and got a little bit sideways. He was able to regroup it and stay in the right direction, but lost a little bit of time in Dallas Miracle after 1 lap at Green Flag Racing, already out to just under a half a second lead over the pack once again.
And here comes the 44, 3 wide down the backstretch. Kevin McCarthy on his way to a 2nd place run here, going into turn 3. Out of turn 4, he's going to come out 2nd place as they cross the start-finish line here as they come off at turn 4. As he comes down all the way to the apron, he is now chasing down the leader, Dallas Markle. Moved the 44 machine up all the way to 2nd place, Cowboy.
JD, I don't know if you were watching those guys behind Kevin, but Gary Bauer and Michael Churchman were like a paper length away from making contact with each other. I could have swore that they were going to touch and we were going to have a nasty, nasty looking crash in turn number 4. I mean, these guys were separated by the width of a piece of paper. It was incredible how close that they came without touching. Churchman getting a little bit of a bad run through 1 and 2 that got stuck on the top side. And now trying to see who that is who just moved into 4th place. That would be Jay Anderson in the 18 car coming around him. So he's up to 4th. Michael Churchman drops back to 5th place. Everett Lane, Colton Berkey, Gordon Berkey, James Thorndike, and Michael Vandesol restarted in 2nd place, and he's back to 10th place after a couple laps off of this restart. So not the restart that 83 wanted to have as he starts dropping back through the field.
Draft makes a big difference here at Michigan, even in these open-wheeled cars, and Churchman running that top lane up there with no help whatsoever. I don't know, he may be setting himself up here as the rest of the field, for the most part, down there on the bottom, kind of lined up 1 by 1 here, but Churchman may be getting some help out of, I think that's Colton Berkey in the 81 machine, but I'll tell you what, almost contact Churchman, and I think that was Jay Anderson up here, but Churchman almost getting into Anderson here. Churchman now on the bottom with the 81 up on the top side off of turn 4. I'll tell you what, these guys lickety split down the front stretch here, almost 225 miles an hour going into turn 1. Probably a little better than that in the draft here as they approach 225, almost 225 miles an hour. But, they're searching all over the place. These guys back here, about 6th position, 6th, 7th, 8th position. I don't know if they're looking for a drafting partner or what's going on back here, but it would behoove these guys to get in a single file line to help run down Dallas Markle, who has already opened up a half a second lead over the field. 43 laps in the books here at Michigan. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, this is some great racing here tonight from the Championship Online Racing Association.
Yeah, GD, it's definitely a bit of a beautiful sight for these guys after last week's troubles, we should say, from the late model race at Bristol last week. Lots of caution flags. Here tonight, a big wide open track, lots of room to work with. You can go 3 wide at this racetrack very, very comfortably and not really have to worry about much. And these guys getting a lot of green flag laps in. We're about ready to complete lap number 44. We've only had 1 caution, and these guys are putting on one heck of a show for everybody right now. Running 2 3 wide throughout the entire field, all over this racetrack. Nice hard racing, close passes, very exciting race. I wasn't expecting anything less. The Indy cars at Michigan, a very popular combination amongst drivers here, and they sure do seem like they're having a lot of fun out there on the track.
And here back around lap 42 or so, Nathan Sedlick, he has an issue with Carl Jones in the 7 machine coming off of turn 4, kind of rubbed tires a little bit. That sent Sedlick up into the wall. Sedlick now with massive damage to that machine of his as he kind of crab walks it around the track here. But Sedlick in dire straits, a lot of damage to that front end machine as I look at the replay here.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Nathan there. I believe, JD, I think you said he was somewhere up there in the points. So a couple of our points drivers getting hit pretty heavy here early on. Looking at the standings here from that first event, first incident, looks like Dale Smalley was able to hang on to the lead lap. I think these guys have a couple quick repairs for him. So Smalley was able to use that and still on the lead lap.
Yeah, Sedlick running in the top 10 in the points. He's actually up 3 positions and was running 9th in the points. So certainly a kind of a devastating event for him here at Michigan tonight. As I was trying to look at the where he finished. Not quite sure where he finished at. He finished in 5th position at Bristol last week. So. That's what helped him boost up in the points here, three positions. So, you know, coming from 11th all the way up into 9th, but a little kind of a devastating issue here for him here with that contact and the damage to his car here at Michigan.
Yeah, that is a tough break for Nathan Sedlick. He had a strong finish last week. A decent run on the points right now, but he'll have to come over some adversity here. Not even getting a caution for his issue. And right now he is currently sitting 26th of the 30 cars who started tonight's event, sitting 3 laps down as of right now. But JD, I'm noticing something up front. Dallas Miracle does not have a lead anymore. Kevin McCarthy has closed in, and he is right there on the rear bumper of that 48 machine, trying to take the lead away. These two guys have about a half a second over Gary Bauer and Colton Berkey right now, who have separated themselves from the rest of that pack. So now we got some guys starting to close in and challenge Dallas Miracle. Going to be interesting to see what Dallas can do here now that he has some cars around and racing for position. He hasn't had that threat right now yet so far, and now on lap 50 he's got some guys starting to race with him, and it looks like Kevin McCarthy is going to try to search for some extra grip around the racetrack. I think he wants to take the lead.
You think so? I'll tell you what, Kevin McCarthy, I believe he's one of the vice presidents here at CORA, Championship Online Racing Association. And I'll tell you, starting in 10th here at Michigan tonight, worked himself all the way up into 2nd, running down Maracle, and he's only about a 10th off here. So he's got plenty of racing left to do. 50 laps in the books here, 125-lap race, so 75 more to go for Kevin McCarthy as he hunts down that number 48 of Dallas Maracle. And I'll tell you what, I always like the Cub cars. Dallas Maracle usually shows up in one of them Duck Dynasty cars with the kinfolk on the back. I'll tell you what, I love those cars that he puts together. But for tonight, Dallas running in that white and blue open wheeler here tonight. No kinfolk on that one, but doesn't matter. Here comes Kevin McCarthy, cowboy. I'll tell you what, you talk about bump drafting down the front stretch in an open wheel car. McCarthy breathing down the back end of Dallas Maracle as McCarthy looks for a way around that number 48. In the meantime, like you say, Bauer, Colton Berkey, Jay Anderson, almost 2 seconds, let's call it 2.2 seconds behind the rest of the leaders up here. He leads Everett D. Lane, Michael Churchma, who's fallen all the way back to 2.5 seconds behind the leaders after starting on the 2nd row.
Yeah, JD, Gary Bauer and Colton Berkey were able to kind of follow Kevin McCarthy away from that field. And we currently have a 4-car lead pack sitting just under 2.5 seconds ahead of the rest of the field, that big pack that we saw a lot of these guys running in. These guys so far running single file, just kind of riding it out. Still, like you said, we got about 70 laps to go or so here, so still a long race left. And as Dallas Miracle had said, he thinks that we got about 2 pit stops left. So there's still a lot of racing to be run here. But these guys kind of, now that they've caught up with the leader, they can kind of see what he's doing, see if they can't learn anything, and kind of pick up on some of his lines and points and try to be in some sort of contention at the end here. These guys obviously showing that there's going to be a lot of green flag racing here tonight. Only one caution flag within the first 54 laps of this event. It could go caution free from here on out. These guys are using this very wide racetrack to their advantage, and they're able to fan out 2-3 wide very comfortably and race side by side without any issues. So it'll be interesting to see what'll come.
98 of John Larson down pit road for a tire and fuel stop. However, he is 17 laps behind the leaders, guys. So Larson, no contention for any kind of a trophy here tonight. But I'll tell you what, it takes a lot of guts to get back out there and just roll around this place. It's about points. So, John Larson in that 98 machine, 17 laps down. Just looking for to pile up the points, as many as he can tonight. Ron McMahon in the 72 on the hauler, headed for the barn here from Michigan Speedway tonight, and I believe I think he's the only one. Everybody else still on the track. The lead lap cars end with David Parks. He's the last man on the lead lap in the number 9 and 22nd position. 23rd is Joel Wood. He's one lap down now as the night wears on here. 55 laps in the books here at Michigan Speedway. Let's go ahead and take another commercial break. You're watching live ETV Live, Cowboy, so don't wander off. We'll be right back.
Join 5,000 plus other listeners where you can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV Live, sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks, HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com. If you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built, and 50 caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products reasonably priced at DerekSpearDesigns.com and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy.
And we are back here live at Michigan Speedway, the CORA Championship Online Racing Association Sunday Money Series, and a big-time lead change to 44. Kevin McCarthy gets the lead from the 81 of Dallas Markle, the 48 machine. That happened on lap 58, back on turn 2, coming off side-by-side, off of turn 2 down the backstretch, and Kevin McCarthy takes over the lead here at Michigan.
JD, that doesn't surprise me at all. Kevin has been bad fast here tonight, and if anybody's going to contend with Dallas for that win, it is going to be that 44. However, we do have Colton Burke and Gary Bauer running in this 4-car lead pack, so these guys could have something to say at the end of it if it stays like it is right now. Bauer a little bit off right now. He's a couple tenths off these guys, trying to hang on to the pack right now as they almost fan out 3 wide. Oh, McCarthy with a tight block on that 48 car, trying to keep him behind the 48, not liking that, gives him a bump down the backstretch. That could have been very, very ugly for our leaders there, JD.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, Colton Berkey, that's the son of Gordon Berkey. I believe Colton is 12 years old. Don't bite my ass too hard there, Colton, if I get it wrong. But I'll tell you what, Colton Berkey, that 81 machine, now running down the 44. Markle doing everything he can, that 48, to try to run both of them down side by side down the backstretch with the 81. Markle running neck and neck here with the 81 car going into turn 3. Now he's up to the back end of that Kevin McCarthy machine, that 44. But I'll tell you what, McCarthy covering the bottom and pretty good, and I understand we've got another caution on the track.
Oh yeah, JD, we got one car wildly flipping down the back straightaway. That's the 37 machine at Glen Suave. Something hard crashed down the back stretch. I see 2 other cars spun around. Looks like the 83 machine is involved. There's a yellow and black car involved. Can't quite get the number. I think that's the 10 machine. Yep, the 10 machine is involved in this. Gonna throw back the replay here and see what happened. But a vicious crash on the back straightaway here on lap 61 is gonna bring out our second caution of the night.
Yeah, looking at it in my monitor here. Oh, you know what? It actually happened out in front of them. It's going to be the number 10 car of Barry Winburn. He's going to start the ball rolling here with some contact. I believe he makes contact with Everett D. Lane and that number 1 machine. It lifts the front end up of Winburn's car completely off the ground. And then another car, I believe it's the 83 of Michael Vandesal, just piles into the melee here and kind of starts this incident back here on the backstretch.
Man, I cannot believe the air that 14 machine of Mark Montinieri got without flipping that car. That was absolutely incredible. Montinieri shot, I don't know, at least 30 feet up into the air after making contact with that 10 car. However, he was able to keep it. He caught it up on the side in the air, but the only car ended up going over there, Glen Suave, trying to avoid the crash, and probably didn't quite see through the smoke, and hit that 10 car fairly hard, and that flipped his car over multiple times on the back straightaway. So a very vicious crash here around lap 63 here, involving the 10 of Barry Winburn, Michael Vandesal, Mark Montinieri, and Glen Suave on the back straightaway.
I'll tell you what, pigs don't fly, but Montanari's number 10 or number 14 machine certainly does. But I'll tell you that was quite an incident. Montanari actually takes a secondary hit from, I believe, that might have been Joel Wood in the 79. Montanari takes a secondary hit back here in that whole melee. But I'll tell you what, you don't want to get caught. At these speeds that these open wheel cars, go, Kyle. Any incident involved in one of these things is going to be devastating no matter what. So, at 220 plus miles an hour, any kind of a contact with anything on the track, car, wall, your night's probably pretty much done.
Yeah, JD, these cars are just so fragile, and any contact just gives a tremendous amount of damage to these cars. And as I said, with them being open wheel, normally you hit with the tires, and that just screws everything up with alignment of the tires and everything. And one tiny mistake can lead to a devastating crash and just absolutely ruin your night. Now, I know these guys have some quick repairs for their cars, so they're allowed to get some spare parts and really rebuild this car fully. I don't know how many of those they get, but I know Glen Suave has been in. That was at least his second incident tonight. So I don't know, with a crash being that hard, he might be done for the night, because that was a vicious flip down the back straightaway.
And Dallas Markle back out in the front again. Not quite sure where that took place. It might have been off of Pit Road as I was looking on my monitors. But Dallas Markle in the 48 back out in front. McCarthy being shown second. Now all those cars out in front of these guys are lap down cars, probably going to get the wave around.
Yeah, JD, that's what I'm assuming as well. We have Nathan Sedlak in the 35, Lance Mead in the 70, and John Larson in the 98 out in front of the leaders here, looking to get some laps back. Lance and Nathan are 3 laps down right now. I believe that is as they run in front of the leaders. So they were 4 laps down, and John Larson going to get one of his many laps back here, and that'll put him 16 laps down. John, as we had mentioned, just kind of running out here for points. And, anything can happen, If he gets some more cautions like this with some heavy impacts, it could knock some drivers out of contention of this race and move him up some. And anything helps, any point counts in this series. And it's just so crucial to get as many points as you absolutely possibly can. If that car is running, then you better be out there. It looks like Joel Wood in the 79 is going to be the lucky dog under this caution, so he will be put back on the lead lap.
You bet. And let's see if we can get Colton Berkey on the line. Colton Berkey, this is Kyle and JD up in the booth. You got us, bud?
Yep.
Hey, man, you're making quick work of things out here. Have you got anything for the leaders up here?
Well, I don't got a game plan yet. I'm just going to ride around here and see what I can do.
It doesn't sound like the 12-year-old son of Gordon Berkey, like I mentioned on the booth, so don't kick my ass after the race, okay?
No problem.
Well, I'll tell you what, I believe you started in 8th back here, but, making it up here and, closer and closer to the front here. Now, you were giving these guys, Markle and McCarthy up here, a pretty good run for their money. You going to be able to finish it off here and collect the trophy at the end of the night?
Well, I'm hoping. That's kind of the game plan right now.
All right, bud. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, that's Colton Berkey there.
Getting ready for the restart here. The field works the way through turns 3 and 4 now. Dallas Miracle back out in front here. Hopefully the field has kind of picked up on how he restarts things, because if not, they are going to be in trouble and going to have to try and chase him down once again off of this restart. 67 laps will be complete when we take the green flag out of the 125 lap race that we have on tap for us here tonight. Pace car getting ready to duck down on the pit road. Dallas Miracle now has control of the field, getting ready to go green, waiting for that green flag. Green flag is now out. Miracle gets off to another great start, leaving these guys back in the dust. These guys can't quite compete with Miracle on these restarts. He jumps out to about a half a second lead off of the restart. Man, these guys got to be frustrated letting him go each and every restart so far. Miracle's got to love it, but not these guys behind him.
I'll tell you what, Dallas Markle on a 48 machine, he absolutely knows how to get this thing restarted here as he opens up almost a half a second lead right from the get-go here. But, Colton Berkey back there in 81, we just talked to him here during the caution. He thinks he's got something he can give to these Cowboys up here. But I'll tell you what, Kevin McCarthy looking to chase down that 48 machine one more time. McCarthy had the lead up to that last caution. And, of course, I believe it was action on pit road that put Dallas Markle back out in front. But Gary Bauer doing a fine job on the 07 machine. He's got the 81 looking on the inside. Oh, almost on the inside here, but takes up a position behind the 81. And then you got Garrett Denton back here doing a fine job. Eric Mark in the 29 machine watching all that action happen out in front. I'll tell you what, it's getting kind of crowded up here in front as we work down through the field. The 88, Michael Churchman, who started on the second row, still mired back here outside the top 5 as they go single file across the start-finish line.
Single file running through the field right now, starting to kind of calm down. Actually, now as soon as I say that, Michael Churchman looking inside, figure out who he really wants to work with right now and trying to push both of them. But that battle's still going on right now, and Dallas Miracle starting to lose a little bit of his lead, slowly starting to creep down now. Was 6/10, now it's 5/10. So Kevin McCarthy using his strength to try to close him back in once again and try to take that lead from him.
With let's count 53 laps left in the race here tonight. I'll tell you what, with 50 laps left, these Cowboys are letting them all hang out here. This is like the last 10 laps at a Cup race. But at 220 miles an hour, I'll tell you what, time runs out pretty fast when you're doing over 220 miles an hour. Getting a little bit tight. Oh, off of turn 2 here, coming down the backstretch. Watching Jay Anderson, 8th position, almost making contact with a bunch of them up here as a whole herd of them go past him. Eric Mark up here, 6th position, the 29 machine. He's got the 17 machine of Gordon Berkey out in front with a slide job up in the second as the caution comes out again here, well, I believe the 3rd time at Michigan.
Problems again in turn number 3. I saw the 14 machine sitting sideways in that right now. Looking at the replay at it right then, looks like the 22 machine got up into the wall and came down on him. made some contact. We'll get the replay up as soon as we can. But the 22 machine, Ralph Shipman, down the back straightaway, tapping the wall, losing control, getting into the 14 machine. They both spin, wash up the field. The 22 makes contact with the 10 machine of Barry Winburn once again, and that puts that 22 machine up on his lid and slides down the banking track and puts it back up on all four wheels down in the infield. Another hard lick for a couple of these drivers, bringing out the third caution of the night on lap number 69. Actually, no, I think it's around lap 74. He's a couple laps down. My apologies for that.
Yeah, I'm watching this back on this replay here. Mike Montanari, he, I believe he owns that, I just lost my train of thought. He's got a piece of garage software out there. Come on, guys, help me out here. What is it? Mike Montanari's got it here. Yeah, the setup analyzer. Thank you, Laura. The setup analyzer, Mark Montanari. I tell you what, it's a real good piece of software if you're working on setups. But unfortunate for Montanari in that 14 machine here tonight, he gets tangled up. But actually, wow, and I'm watching a subsequent. Wow, there's a lot of action happening even after the hit with the 22. Several more cars involved in that. As I believe Barry Winburn in the number 10 car takes a huge hit, and one of them's upside down. Trying to find who that was upside down here. I believe that's Ralph Shipman, got flipped upside down. So I tell you what, like I said before, Kyle, you get into an accident here at 220 miles an hour plus, and it can be devastating.
Yeah, absolutely, JD. And it has a lot to do with the speeds and making contact, but also with the fact that these guys are open wheels. The tires touch anything, and it kind of just like shoots them out, like kind of like a baseball and a pitching machine. It kind of just launches the car in one direction when they touch tires or touch the wall or something. And Ralph Shipman, unfortunately, one of the victims of that is he's the second car to go upside down here tonight. Glenn Suave was upside down on the last caution there. A more gentle, I guess you could say, flip for Shipman as he didn't barrel roll down the backstretch multiple times. But again, it's just a product of open wheel racing and being at such fast speeds. You touch tires and it shoots you in the air. We saw that that's what caused that last caution was Barry Winburn made contact with another car and touched tires, and it shot the front end of the car up into the air and put him into the outside wall and into a couple other cars. So, with these guys racing as close as they are, and with the tires being as exposed as they are, one slight contact and it's one heck of a mess.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, let's give Mark Montanari another shout out here. The setup analyzer. If you need a crew chief, here's the next best thing, Cowboy. Mark Montanari's Sim Racing Setup Analyzer. As you test the car, enter data into the analyzer. It gives you real-time recommendations to make changes. Join the ranks of some of the fastest guys in sim racing. Get the analyzer and the equalizer. Actually, it says get the equalizer. I got to put my glasses on. Get the equalizer and start turning your wrecks into wins at the click of the mouse. Sim Racing Setup Analyzer by Mark Montanari. It's the only crew chief you'll need. You can see it at setupanalyzer.com. Again, setupanalyzer.com by Mark Montanari.
Pretty unique little tool there, JD. I can't say I've used that myself, but I'm sure it's helped quite a few people. A very unique tool at the hands of some of the drivers out here tonight, and much appreciation to Mark Montanari for that.
Yeah, as technical as this thing is getting, these simulation racing games are getting, especially when you get into the garage there, how do you know what adjustments to make? I mean, you don't really have anybody with you. You don't have a crew chief to kind of monitor your car and your setup. And if you're not real sure of what you're doing, that setup analyzer is a huge tool to help you out. You got and you run some laps, and then you come back in, you enter the numbers, tire temperatures, that kind of thing, and it actually tells you what you need to do, what kind of adjustments you need to make to kind of dial in that setup for a good solid run. So it's a huge thing that setup analyzer. You can again see it at setupanalyzer.com. Lights are off on the pace car, and I'll tell you what, this is a quite the battle shaping up here with the let's call it the top 6. Dallas Markle still out in front with Kevin McCarthy running him down. Colton Berkey in that number 81 machine, the 07 of Gary Bauer. Churchma still looking in the actually sitting in the top 5 right now in 5th position, that 88 car, and of course the 99 of Garrett Denton. That's your top 6. These Cowboys have just been duking it out here for about the last 50 laps or so, and Gordon Berkey in the 17 machine finally working himself up in the close to the top 5, not quite, but inside the top 10 here, with Eric Mark 29 on the outside on the restart. So again, Derek Markle has proven to be the restart king of the night here. He'll take the green flag one more time. Remember, he started on the pole here to begin with, but he's being severely threatened by that 44 machine for sure. But don't count out that 81. We've seen Colton Berkey as close to second up there here a couple of times as well. So coming off of turn 4, pace car Kyle getting ready to pull off down pit road, take us to the green.
Pace car getting ready to pull off here. JD, quick little homework assignment before we go back green. Michael Vansdal got his lap back. He was the lucky dog on this caution. So that number 83 machine going to be back on the lead lap, and he will restart in 20th. Pace car down on pit road. Green flag is out, and once again, JD, Dallas Miracle off to a great start. Doesn't look like it's... no, it doesn't look like it's as big as before, and we instantly have a caution off the restart.
Caution coming out again here at Michigan. Going to kind of roll it back here and see what happened. I think it's deep in the field here somewhere as I go backwards here trying to find it out. Not quite sure if it's Ralph Shipman or not. I'm hearing it's a 98 machine.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, JD. It looks like the 98 machine got a better restart than the 22 did. And tried to make the move to the outside and just clipped his right rear tire. And I believe that is Nathan Sedlak. I'm not 100% sure. Trying to see who that is. Who John just touched him. And yeah, it is Nathan Sedlak. John went up and touched him. And I don't know if Sedlak was carrying some sort of explosive device or something. But
parachute.
Sedlak flew. He went straight into the air and actually went over the fence and respawned into pit road.
Yeah, I'm watching from the chase view with John Larson here, and Sedlak's car just goes completely out of view. So launched into outer space. I hope you got a parachute in that thing, cowboy. But I tell you what, you talk about going for an e-ticket ride. But as I think it sounds like Laura's going to try to get that thing pulled back up on a replay here as we watch Sedlak just go. And you talk about doing a triple axle in the air. He does like about a quadruple axle oh my God, look at that car spin. Holy cow.
Taking a look at the live camera here, JD, we got some interesting news right here. Dallas Miracle, Gary Bauer, and Eric Mark, the 3 drivers coming down pit road. Everybody else stays out. So Miracle going to give up the lead to Colton Berkey right now. It looks like they are the only 3 drivers who are coming down pit road. So Dallas Miracle going to have to be sent towards the rear of the field here. He's going to have some work on his hands if he wants to get back up towards the lead.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Don't know whether, in fact, I'm going to pull it back here and see if I can watch his replay, see what, and I'm looking here, it almost looks like he's getting tires and fuel, so it's not even a quick stop for him. He's going to get both tires and fuel with so few laps remaining. I wonder what his plan is. This is going to set him way back.
Yeah, JD, that's going to put him back probably outside or the top 15 for this restart. We currently have 47 laps to go. We're going to have less than that, probably just under 45 laps to go when we get the restart. And we haven't really seen a lot of people. I mean, I think Kevin McCarthy is probably the only one we've really seen move his way up through the field. Actually, I believe Galen Gidman right now, he's currently sitting in 7th place. He started this race back in the 20th spot, so he's made a big move at the beginning of this race. But Galen Gidman and Kevin McCarthy, really the two drivers who really moved up through the field. Other than that, we really haven't seen anybody spectacular make a lot of moves through this field. So it'll be interesting to see how Dallas Miracle can do with some traffic in front of him, and it'll be interesting to see how this restart will go now that it'll be the first one that he is not in the lead for.
You bet. And Gary Bauer coming back down pit road for the second time. I wonder what that was all about. Unless he missed. I'm thinking that Gary Bauer may have missed his pit box first time. Don't know whether I've got enough time to go back and try to pick it back up on the replay. But Bauer coming down a second time here on pit road. Remember, he was one of the front runners up there in that 07 machine. So certainly a shake-up here at Michigan this late in the race. 80 laps in the books here. Remember, this is a 125-lap race. So I'm not quite sure what was I'm hearing it might have been a top-off for Gary Bauer down there on pit road. So Bauer may be thinking of some kind of fuel strategy here.
Quite possibly, JD. Maybe he can go the rest of the way, and that'll be interesting if Dallas Miracle is doing the same thing. A lot of these guys are staying out, and they're banking on the strategy that they will have to come back down pit road either way, whether we stay green from here on out or if we go we get some more cautions. So it'll be an interesting story to follow up here within these last this last part of the race. I believe these guys are going to get the one to go this coming time around, so I think we're going to have 44 laps to go when we get the restart. Barry Winburn was waved around as the lucky dog, so he will join the lead lap and be the 21st car on the lead lap. 21 cars on the lead lap, 80 laps in the books right now. Not bad at all. I believe we still have 29 of the 30 cars out on the track right now. So that's a fairly decent stat right there for this far in the race.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, Colton Berkey out in front with Kevin McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy not pitting with Dallas Markle. So, I don't know. Keep your eyes on the front row up here, Cowboy. It's going to be Berkey, McCarthy, Michael Churchman back up in the second row where he started, with Garrett Denton, Gordon Berkey sitting in fifth, and Galen Gidman. That's your top six, first three rows on the restart. So the master of restarts, Dallas Miracle, is pretty much buried back in 14th position on this restart. So I don't know. This is going to be, whether Dallas Miracle can pull a rabbit out of his hat and get the job done here tonight in 19 laps. It'll be 18 laps when they come around and take the flag. I don't know. It's going to be up to Dallas Miracle to get the job done now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he can make his way up through the field here. Pace lights are out on the pace car. Colton Berkey going to lead them down to the field to complete lap 81. 44 laps to go when we go green flag racing. It'll be interesting to see how this restart goes now that Dallas Miracle is not up front and we have somebody new in control of the field. You had mentioned the top six: Michael Johnson, Everett Lane, Alan Larson, and Scott Amy round out your top 10. Pace car down on pit road. Colton Berkey now in control of the field, pacing the field down through the tri-oval. He hits the gas. A good restart for him. And we are green flag racing once again. Looks like he's now going to get the advantage and pull out a little bit.
And here comes Dallas Miracle up to the outside as he gets a run down the front stretch, and he's passing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars. Miracle on the move back towards the front. He, the minute the green flag flew, he went to the outside and passed a whole herd of cars here at Michigan. So Miracle looking to reclaim the lead up here as he comes off of turn 3 into turn 4 down the front stretch here. In the meantime, Colton Berkey out in front with Michael Churchma about 0.3 of a second back. Garrett Denton chasing them all down. Kevin McCarthy in the 44 who was sharing the lead with the Dallas Miracle earlier, is now chasing down the leaders coming from fourth.
How about that 99 machine, Garrett Denton? We haven't heard much from him tonight. He's starting to creep his way up to the top part of the standings right now, as he is battling side by side with Michael Churchman for the second place position. They battle continuously down here through the tri-oval, and at the start-finish line, Kevin McCarthy and Galen Gidman now side by side. McCarthy wins that battle, and he hangs on to fourth place. But still side by side, Michael Churchman and Garrett Denton. Now I think Churchman has the advantage in the middle of 1 and 2. Looks like he might be able to clear, and I think he is. No, Denton's still to the outside using that side draft, and they are closing in on Colton Berkey a little bit now, and actually they're right up on him here as they head into turns number 3 and 4. Still side by side for that second spot. Now Garrett Denton gives in and falls back in line behind the 88 of Michael Churchman as they come down to complete lap number 84. 41 laps to go.
And here comes Kevin McCarthy in the 44 machine, running all three of those Cowboys down up there in front. Kevin McCarthy doing an expert job here. Excellent turn in on the run into the turns, and he's getting a good run off the turns as he closes the distance on Garrett Denton up here in the front. So I'll tell you what, run for the lead up here. The 81 up on the outside. Churchman to the lead here, coming across the line. Score one for the 88 car here tonight at Michigan. Garrett Denton right on the back end of Churchman. Colton Berkey still up on the outside, and here comes Kevin McCarthy on the outside behind the 81. You'd think this is the last lap of the race, Cowboys. These guys let those ponies loose here at Michigan. 3 wide, going down the backstretch, the 44 on the inside. And I'll tell you what, these guys are absolutely getting with it here in the closing laps here at Michigan.
Colton Berkey retakes the lead on the outside. Look at Kevin McCarthy barely squeezing his way, makes contact with the 88. That puts Garrett Denton up into the wall. Everybody's staying in the right order, though, somehow, and we stay green. That was incredible. Kevin McCarthy got right up underneath that 88 car. I think he touched him just enough to move him up the track a little bit, and I believe Garrett Denton got some contact with that and hit the wall, and that ruffles up that pack a little bit and brings up the rest of the pack to close up right in on the rear end of Garrett Denton and Galen Gidman. Gidman gets on by, and I think Garrett Denton's got some pretty serious damage. He's hitting it up to the top, and he's getting past quite a bit. It looks like that car's off the pace. So a tough break there for Garrett Denton, and we stay green nonetheless. I can see some front end damage on that right side of the wing, and I'm sure there's something up with the toe in that car as he hit that wall tires first on the right side.
Dallas Miracle back here mired in 13th position. Remember, he was pretty much leading the race here tonight. 3.1, call it 3.2 seconds behind the leaders. Miracle sitting back here in 13th position, not gaining an inch on anybody up there in the front. Marco's got his work cut out for him if he has any hopes at all of getting back up to the front row. But I'll tell you what, he's going to have to get past the likes of Galen Goodman up here in the front with Michael Churchman. Kevin McCarthy up to second place in the 44 machine. He is running down Colton Berkey. And I'll tell you what, watching Colton Berkey's last time by at a 30.074 to McCarthy's 32.955, you'd think that Berkey may have it put together here. I'll tell you what, this thing ain't over yet, Cowboy. 89 laps will make it 90 laps in the books here at Michigan. We still got some heavy-duty racing to go yet. It ain't over till the fat lady sings, Cowboy. And I'll tell you what, the band is starting to warm up.
Indeed, they are. JD's starting to get down towards the end of this race right now. Colton Berkey and Kevin McCarthy have a half a second lead over Michael Churchman, Galen Gidman, and Michael Johnson. Haven't talked much about Michael Johnson in this race. He has popped his number 78 machine up into the top 5, running right behind the 04 of Galen Gidman, trying to use that 3-car draft to close that half-second gap up on Kevin McCarthy and Colton Berkey. Looks like Scott Amy in the 55. I think he is a teammate to Michael Johnson. I'm going to assume so, considering they are running the same paint scheme tonight. Trying to close in on him and make it a 4-car pack that closes in on these leaders. Slowly gaining in now. Actually, I think they lost 10th that lap, my bad. And caution is out. Caution out on the racetrack here on lap number 99.
Yeah, and we'll try to roll around here and
91.
see if we can find him. Hearing it's the
Looks like the 79 of Joel Wood is slow on the front stretch here, JD.
Yeah, 71, actually, let's roll it back here just a little bit more. For some reason, the 71 goes off the track. I'm not quite sure what happened, but the 71 goes off the track into the grass right here off of turns 3 and 4. I don't know if that's what brought the caution out, though.
And
All right, I'm
JD, see
hearing,
him slow. He's slow through the grass, but when I went back and looked at him, he didn't really spin. I'm not 100% sure if that's actually. I think I just saw another slow car.
I'm hearing. All right, I see what's going on now. It's actually the 22 involved, and I believe I was hearing this 79 machine of Joel Wood. The 22 gets into the 79 of Joel Wood, gets him into the wall, pops the tire, and the wall glue just kind of keeps the 79 up there on the wall. And I believe that's what pulled that caution out. So caution number whatever it is out here tonight in Michigan, with let's call it 91 laps in the books here, as 6 cautions so far. I'm hearing 18 lead changes here tonight so far. Oh, 5 cautions, 6 lead changes. There you go. Usually I'm the one calling out the stats for all this stuff, but we have no engineer tonight, so I'm doing double duty. Actually, Laura's doing double duty. She's the engineer and the cameraman, as the Cowboy works the booth with none other than Kyle Young.
Pit road, a very busy place, that caution there, JD, and I have a feeling I was a bit right in my prediction. Look who's back at top of the standings here, staying out under this caution. Dallas Miracle in the 48 back at top. He is your leader.
What do you think was going through his mind when he pulled down pit road and gave up all those positions? Do you think he knew that there was going to be another caution?
Well, either that or he knew that those guys would have to come down. I think Dallas Miracle was able to figure out exactly how many laps he can make it on a green flag run, or for the rest of the race, that is, and came down, took that pit stop, knowing that the rest of these guys would have to pit. They'd have to pit at some point in the race, and as long as he can keep his car out of trouble, he'd be back up in the lead. Next caution comes out, everybody pits, he stays out, puts him right back up front. I think Dallas Miracle did one heck of a strategy move right there, and it'll be interesting to see if he can keep it up front and hang on to this for the rest of the race. I'm liking my chances with the 81 and the 44 of Kevin McCarthy. Actually, now that things have shuffled up here, he wasn't the only one who stayed out. Looks like Michael Vandesal, who was involved in that big accident on the back straightaway, he is in second place right now. Jay Anderson third, Gary Bauer, and Dale Smalley. We haven't heard him since he was involved in our first caution tonight back on lap 33. Currently your top 5 with Colton Berkey, Kevin McCarthy, Michael Churchman, Galen Gidman, and Gordon Berkey rounding out your top 10.
And I tell you what, you know to keep an eye on that 07 machine, Gary Bauer. He's been a front runner here pretty much all night long. Kevin McCarthy, on the other hand, who was running down Maracle earlier and will look like a contender for a win here tonight, he's going to be restarting in 7th back here in that 44 machine. So I'll tell you what, with 94 laps on the in the books already, as we're on the short side of things here at Michigan Speedway, don't know whether McCarthy's going to have enough time to get that 44 car of his back up to the front to contend with Maracle. Remember, these guys are doing 220 plus miles an hour, almost 225 miles an hour going into turn 1 here. And these laps click off pretty lickety split at that kind of speed. So McCarthy just got, minutes basically to be able to get that 44 back up to the front with Dallas Maracle. But in the meantime, like I said, that 07 of Gary Bauer, hey, don't count him out either tonight, Cowboy. Your points leader coming into the race here tonight, Dale Smalley, he's got a 60-point lead over Michael Churchma, who is up 2 positions this week. Churchma is going to be restarting back here in 8th with Kevin McCarthy. So, this could be a huge shake-up here no matter how you look at it, and it's going to be a hell of a finish if we stay green all the way.
Absolutely, JD. Lots of implications in this race. We got some contenders back up front, some points people in positions to gain some points here and take advantage of a good night. But the lights are out on the pace car. The field has doubled up. We will have 30 laps to go when we get the green flag here, and the 48 machine Dallas Miracle back out front. Looks like could possibly see another dominant restart. I mean, you know, he's been what 4 for 4 on excellent restarts so far tonight. So the facts are not persuading me to think that he's not going to jump out to a good lead on this restart again.
No, you know what? This is like the fox and the rabbit, I guess, or whatever you call it, the fox and the hound, or whatever it is. I tell you what, Dallas Markle being the fox and the hounds all back here going to chase him down, but Markle has just been absolutely expert at these restarts. Not quite sure what he's doing. He's not jumping a flag or anything like that, but I tell you what, he's absolutely putting it together and doing a good job of it here. So I'll tell you what, you know, Markle's going to be the car to beat. I think we've already established that. We've been watching that all night long. Michael Vandersol, on the other hand, the 83 machine, this is the first time he's been this far forward with Jay Anderson in the 18. Gary Bauer and Dale Smalley and Colton Berkey slipping back to the number 6 spot on the restart. That's your top 6 as the pace car gets set to go down off of pit road. Kyle, take us to the green flag.
Dallas Miracle getting ready to get off to another one of his excellent restarts. Heel green flag is out. He stabs the gas. Ooh, gets a little sideways there. He can't quite pull away from the field. 3 wide behind him for second place. Gary Bauer once again off to a fantastic restart. He takes it 3 wide again and moves himself into the second spot on the outside. Actually, Michael Vanesdahl is going to actually take that spot back. Dallas Miracle out to a bit of a lead, but not as big as we've seen him take before. He kind of spun the tires a little bit, slid the car on the restart, and Michael Vanesdahl is definitely within drafting distance. So this is the first time all night that Dallas Miracle has not been able to pull out to a whopping lead, and this pack should be able to reel him in very quickly.
McCarthy going around Church. Church actually dropping back one more to Galen Gibbons back here about 9th position. McCarthy just with the pedal to the metal, Cowboy. He's trying to run that lead group up there. Remember, McCarthy and Miracle had it 1 and 2 here, swapping back and forth earlier in the race. So McCarthy is a contender here with 97 laps in the books. Don't count him out just yet as he moves up one more notch. Colton Berkey, on the other hand, he worked himself up from 8th all the way up into the 2nd position. Actually led a couple of laps, I believe, here as he works up into the 5th place spot. He's putting the pressure on Jay Anderson out in front, and Anderson's putting the pressure on Gary Bauer, vice versa, all the way to the front. Dallas Markle with about a 0.7 lead over Vandersol. Markle not getting away like he probably thought he was on the restart. So this is a little bit different set of circumstances that we've seen out of the 48 here, at least on this restart all night long.
Yeah, absolutely, JD. A bit of uncomfortable territory here for Dallas Miracle as he has a mirror full of the 83 of Michael Vanesdahl, and I think Vanesdahl kind of wants to take that lead. Overcoming some adversity after being involved in one of our earlier cautions. He got his repairs done, and actually we have another caution out here on lap number 99. Yellow flag flies for the 6th time, I believe, tonight. And we have another car flipping wildly. It's the 78 machine of Michael Johnson, barrel rolling multiple times on the back straightaway down towards the inside wall.
And the 7 gets a piece of the 78. That's Carl Jones back here, 21st position as well. And see if I can pull it back here a little bit. I saw another car go for one of those flying leaps as I think that's the 78 machine is the other one that I saw go completely, wow, goes airborne. I tell you, comedy of errors here in Michigan to watch these cars go flipping off into outer space here tonight. But what a, oh man, I don't know. Take it from here, Kyle.
Looking back at that, it looks like the 10 machine of Gary Winburn washed up and made contact with I believe that was the 66 machine. The 66 washed up and made some contact with the car to his outside. And the 78 machine, I was watching it. He went up and hit the wall all on his own, reacting to the accident happening in front of him. The 55 of Scott Amy was the car that the 66 made contact with. And they all went up and washed into the wall. I think they all stayed okay, but the 78 machine, he was the one who spun off the contact with the wall, and he gets absolutely drilled by, I believe that is going to be Carl Jones in the 7 car. He just comes and just drills him in the right rear, sends him high into the sky, and he bounces hard and flips the car. I think he actually made one of your triple axle barrel rolling flips right over that 7 car there, JD, on the back straightaway. But a hard impact, another vicious flip that the third car to go upside down here tonight, and another nasty wreck here on lap number 99.
Triple axle barrel roll. I don't know where we come up with that stuff, but what concerns me the most is the 44 machine. The 44 has not been able to really put anything together, even on that short run. He's still sitting back there in 8th position. Actually, I think he lost one somewhere, because I remember Gidman was behind him, I believe, prior to that few laps prior to that caution. So I don't know, McCarthy. The laps are starting to wind down. We get this thing rolling back, Kyle, and there's only going to be 22, 23 laps, somewhere in there, left to go.
Yeah, absolutely, JD. We are currently working lap 101. These guys should be getting the green around lap 104, 105 or so. So not much time left to get things done. I'm seeing Gary Bauer is going to be lining up 3rd for this restart. We've seen him get a couple really good restarts in 4th, but now that he's starting in 3rd, he'll be down on the inside. He can't really pass anybody down there, but with the leader being right in front of him, he has control of the restart when he goes. So with the restarts, the stronger the restarts have been for Gary Bauer, it'll be interesting to see if he can keep up with Dallas Miracle or not here on the restart.
Yeah, and I got a note being passed up here that just got word that the 78 only got a 7-point on the landing. They're blaming the Russian judge on that. I don't know. It looked like a 10 from my perspective. But I tell you what, you talk about, and I guess we can talk about iRacing. I mean, when are they going to fix this, dude? These, especially in these open wheel cars, this is not the first time I've seen these cars just go blasting off into outer space. I'm not quite sure what kind of residual damage it creates when they come back down to Earth, but it can't be good.
No, not at all, JD. These guys, they get some pretty nasty licks. And seeing from race control here, Michael Johnson was just given the lucky dog for this caution. I'm kind of questioned about that, because he was on the lead lap at the time. I believe he lost a lap under caution, and he was involved in the caution. So kind of curious to see that. But something that I had noticed earlier on, and I don't believe we mentioned, JD, John Larson's number 98 machine, he pulled off and has called a night a little while ago. He will finish in 29th place here tonight. I believe Mark Montinieri is also out of tonight's event. He will finish in 28th. He's currently sitting 29 laps down, so I believe he is done for the night. So we've lost a couple drivers, but we currently have 20 cars on the lead lap. I think we still have about 25, 26, 27 cars or so still running out on the racetrack. So not too bad after just over 100 laps of racing. We still have about 97% of the field out on the racetrack.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, these guys are putting on a pretty good show here, like to do every Sunday night here, Sunday Money Series. Let's give them a plug. CORA, Championship Online Racing Association, qualifying 3 nights a week for a shot at the Sunday Money. Drivers pay an entry fee, then a percentage of the fees are up for grabs Sunday night during the Sunday Money Series. Win a trip to the bank, cowboy. You can visit them at their brand new website at CORA-racing.com. CORA-racing.com. And talking about Mike Montanari, throw another plug out for him for the race setup analyzer. And I tell you, if you need a crew chief, this is the next best thing. Mike Montanari's Sim Racing Setup Analyzer. You know, you take your car out to the track, you enter the data into the analyzer, and it gives you real recommendations to make whatever changes you need to make. And hey, dude, you know what? Join the ranks of some of the fastest guys in sim racing. Get the equalizer and start turning your wrecks into wins at the click of a mouse. Sim Racing Setup Analyzer by Mark Montanari, the only crew chief you'll need. Setupanalyzer.com. And we're getting ready to get the ball rolling back here again. Let's go down through the top 6. Hey, not a lot has changed. Dallas Miracle, Michael Vandersall, Gary Bauer. I told you to watch that 07 machine. Colton Berkey still hanging out up in the front here in 4th. Jay Anderson, Dale Smalley, your points leader, at your top 6 on the get-go. Kyle, one more time, Cowboy. Take us to the green flag.
Pace car ducks down onto pit road. 22 laps to go when we hit the line here. A couple cars peeking to the outside. Green flag is out. Dallas Vertical doesn't go right away. Wiggles a little bit there and can't separate himself from the field. Gary Bauer off to a great restart. Michael Churchma around, and I think he's upside down. Garrett Denton around. Yellow flag is out once again. A nasty, nasty crash on the tri-oval. Some guys got turned around, and we have multiple cars upside down after this incident.
And it looks like Churchman just too fast into the gas pedal here as he goes right into the back of Galen Gidman, who has been doing an outstanding job taking, staying up in front here. Gidman in that 04 machine having an absolutely fantastic night here tonight as Churchman gets in the back. Doesn't look like a whole lot of damage done to the back of the 04 machine, but Churchman's car, on the other hand, I'll tell you what, he goes for one of them e-ticket rides as he gets punted from the rear by the 29 of Eric Mark.
Yeah, that was a hard impact there. The number 1 machine, Everett Lane, was the car that was flipping upside down. Garrett Denton in the 99, he got hit and popped his car up into the air. I believe the 66 is involved. The 35, Nathan Sedlak, another incident for him. It has been a terrible night for that 35. The 9 machine, David Parks, involved in this accident. So about 5 or 6 cars taken out in this accident here off the restart on lap number 104. And we have our 4th car of the night going upside down. That's the 1 machine of Everett Lane. A nasty flip. He kind of slides and bounces his way down to the infield grass, and unfortunately gets that car stuck upside down. So they'll have to roll that car back over and get him to pit lane so he can pop into another one and try to get back out. Or I don't know. He was involved in another incident, I believe, but I don't know how bad the damages were for him in that.
And through all that melee, that puts the 07 to Gary Bauer just one more shot closer to Dallas Maracle in 2nd position. So I tell you, like I said earlier, keep your eye on that 07 machine. But things happening here at Michigan Speedway is, as it turns out, this is nothing unusual. We typically see this kind of racing at the end of the race. Everybody's letting it all hang out. Positions and points mean everything. And, of course, that's when everybody pretty much gets lead-footed and just throws caution to the wind. But with this one, let's go ahead and refill our cold drinks here. I'm going to get some more ice cubes. Let's take a commercial break. You're watching live ETV Live, Cowboys, so don't wander off. We'll be right back. And we are back live here at Michigan Speedway, working caution number 7, I believe it is. Yeah, caution number 7 here at Michigan Speedway, and actually I'm getting some messages here. Of course, the race being sponsored by Small Town Computers here tonight. The Small Town Computers 250. I'm getting messages sent to me all over the place here. But anyway, Carl Jones with Small Town Computers here tonight. But at any rate, Dallas Markle out in front. Gary Bauer. Not a lot has changed up here. Miracle, Bauer, Vandersol having an outstanding night in that 83 machine. The 81 of Colton Berkey, who has seen the front row here a couple of times tonight. Dale Smalley, your points leader. Jay Anderson making up your top 6 on the restart. McCarthy inching just a bit closer. He'll be restarting in 7th position in that 44 car. But the night ain't over, Cowboy. With less than 20 to go here at Michigan, all hell's breaking loose. And I tell you what, these Cowboys are letting all the ponies run here tonight in a closing lap. So this ought to be a good one. Still looking for that 44 machine. He has been a contender all night long. That's Kevin McCarthy. I believe he's one of the vice presidents here at CORA, at Championship Online Racing. Next time, or actually this time by, we should get the lights out on the pace car and get this thing rolling back one more time. So I'll tell you what, looking for a good win here, a good finish here at Michigan from these guys.
Absolutely, JD. The number 70 machine of Lance Mead was waved around the pace cars as the lucky dog on this caution. So he will get one of his laps back, and he will drop now down to 3 laps down. I want to take a quick second here to kind of mention how this league is. We've had a couple plugs for the league here, talking about it a little bit. But one of the interesting things that I find highly interesting and entertaining is that these guys, they change things up every single week. These guys don't just run one car at different tracks each week. They run so many different things. You know, last week we were racing at Bristol in the late models. You know, I've seen them do Legends cars at USA International Speedway. I've seen the NASCAR Cup cars at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Street Stocks at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So you know, these guys do some different combinations of stuff, and you really are the true champion if you pick up the championship in one of these seasons. Showing that you can get it done in all different types of cars and all different types of racetracks.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, that's one thing I love about these guys, Championship Online Racing Association. They don't just run one type of car, they run them all here, Cowboy, and you got to be pretty well versed at each one of them. And I'll tell you who's pretty well versed in these open wheels is that 44 machine of Kevin McCarthy. I don't think he's done yet as we get close to taking it back to green. Dallas Markle, he'll be picking up how many green flags here tonight at Michigan? But I tell you what, he's the expert when it comes to restart. The pace car is off, the green flag is up, and off and running we go with Markle out to a good start again here at Michigan. Kind of caught everybody else off guard here as Gary Bauer in the 07. He moves right up into 2nd position, going around Vandersol on the restart.
Gee, JD, I would have never guessed that Dallas Miracle would have gotten off to a good start. He gets off to a great start. Gary Bauer currently sitting in 2nd side by side for the 3rd spot between Michael Vandersol and Colton Berkey down the back straightaway. Berkey sitting in 4th, trying to take the spot over. Here comes Dale Smalley closing in. Vandersdal going to take the spot. The door is wide open for Dale Smalley. He's going to take it and try to get some help here from Jay Anderson in the 18. Couldn't quite get it done. Berkey drops down to the bottom of the racetrack to cancel that one off. Just under half a second, the lead from Dallas Miracle to Gary Bauer. These guys lining up single file. They're like, we know how you are, Dallas. We're going to line up and we're going to try to run you down. That is exactly what they're going to do late in the going here. 15 laps to go when they cross the stripe this time by, and these guys trying to run him down to have a shot at it. Colton Berkey looking to the outside of the 38 of Michael Vandersdal, heading to the start-finish line, trying to take that 3rd spot away and move his way through the field. We see him strong all night so far.
You bet. And I'm still watching this 44 machine. Didn't get off to the restart he wanted to. He's now sitting 1 second off the leaders up here, so he's got a lot of work cut out for him. Almost a little bit slow on the gas pedal here tonight. In front of him is Gordon Berkey, Jay Anderson, 2x2 up here. So he's got to get around all these guys. Dale Smalley, your points leader, sitting in that number 69 machine. Top 5 run for him so far tonight in 5th. Gordon Berkey doing an outstanding job up here on the outside as well. A little bit deeper in the field. Let's go back to Eric Marks, suffering some damage here tonight. Was involved in a caution. The 29 machine sitting in ninth, so a top 10 run for him. Garrett Denton in the 99 machine sitting in 10th position, but losing a lot of time to the leaders up here as he falls to 2.7 seconds, almost 3 seconds behind the leaders. But in the meantime, out in front, it's all about Dallas Maracle and Gary Bauer in that 07 machine. Gary Bauer trying to run that Maracle machine down, but I'll tell you what, it may be a miracle for Gary Bauer to overtake that 48.
Ha! I see what you did there, JD.
Like
Right now, Gary Bauer and Michael Vandesdal, they have a very strong draft between the two of them, and I think they definitely are closing down that gap between Gary and Dallas. Now they're probably within drafting distance, and I believe that lead is about ready to evaporate between Dallas and Gary Bauer. Gary Bauer getting ready to try to take the lead. I wouldn't be surprised here if we see him a very, very hard contention for this win. We've seen him strong on numerous restarts, and right now he has closed up on the rear end of Dallas Miracle. Look for that 07 to make the move. He's already thinking outside as we look into turn number 2. He wants to get around Dallas Miracle, and I don't know if Michael Vandesdal is going to have too much of an issue trying to help him do that. Dallas Miracle easily has led the most laps here tonight, and with only 11 laps to go when we hit the stripe, things are getting down to the nitty-gritty, and passes are going to start to come here very, very quickly.
Jay Anderson working himself past the 44 machine back here in the 7th position. The 44 just not able to put it together on this run here late in the race. 44 up on the top side here. He's side by side with, I believe that's Jay Anderson down there on the bottom. Of course, Dale Smalley out in front of both of those guys, but the 44 just not able to put it together with 10 laps to go here at Michigan Speedway. In the meantime, hey, it's a miracle out in front at that 48 machine of Dallas Markle. The 07 machine closing the distance, though. I'll tell you what, the 07, keep your eyes on that machine. Gary Bauer looking for a trophy here from Michigan here tonight.
Gonna have to wait a little bit longer, though. GD caution comes out with 10 laps to go. Looks like there's a car spun just outside of turn number 4. I believe that is the 59 machine of James Thorndike, spun around off of turn number 4, bringing out, I think, the 8th caution of the night. With 10 laps to go. So if now it's going to get really, really, really interesting. Taking a look at the replay, looks like he made some contact with the 55 machine of Scott Amy. He hit the wall and spun it around down in turn number 4, heading out of the tri-oval. Only car involved, fortunately, so not a big wreck, but bringing out the caution once again here tonight. And that's just going to get fewer green flag laps for these guys to be able to take over Dallas Miracle. And with how strong Dallas has been on these restarts, it is going to be extremely, extremely important for these guys to get off to the best restart that they've had all night long, so that way they can stick with Dallas and have a shot at taking over him and winning this race.
9, 10, 11, probably 12 times that car, that 59, actually 13 times that 59 machine spins around coming off the wall there. And I tell you what, if your head ain't screwed on straight now, it should be, it won't be after this race. But I tell you what, that was a wild ride. And actually, we call it an e-ticket ride here on ETV Live. That 59 machine took, but a lot of damage to the front end of that 59 car. Thorndike probably going to be out of the running here tonight for sure. It's going to be needing a lot of repairs once he hits pit road down there. But in fact, I think he might have pulled it behind the wall and called it a night here from Michigan.
Yeah, tough break there for that team, and it looks like probably going to have about I'm going to think 5 or 6 laps to settle this one out here. So, like I had mentioned, it is going to be extremely important for these guys to get off to a very strong restart to try and stick with Dallas Miracle. It normally takes them about 2 or 3 laps for them to reel him in once he gets away. These last few restarts, they've been doing a good job of getting off to a better restart and not letting him pull away like he did the first half of the race, but they have to be right on top of him. I mean, if there's going to be multiple people that have a shot, Gary Bauer is going to have to stick to his outside all the way through turns 1 and 2 to keep that pack close. Dallas has just been so good off of these restarts, and I can't stress enough how important it's going to be for these guys to get off to a good restart if they want a shot.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised with Dale Smalley. Smalley seems to be struggling here at Michigan tonight in these open wheelers. And, Smalley coming in as your points leader. He qualified in 7th position, really hasn't made much headway here tonight at all. In fact, he's been pretty much around the top 10 all night long. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with the 69 machine here tonight, but I would have thought that Dale Smalley would have been able to hook this thing up and be up there with Dallas Miracle, pretty much all night long. But Smalley in the 69, your points leader, pretty much out of the running up here, at least as far as the top 5 goes, all night. So, but Smalley pretty secure in that lead of his. He's got a 60-point run over Mark Montanari, who has already retired here from Michigan tonight. So Dale Smalley pretty much assured of hanging on to that lead in the points in the CORA, the Championship Online Racing Association points standings anyway. So. But in the meantime, still watching that 44, buried back here in 8th position. No movement for him in the last couple of cautions. So the night may be over for Kevin McCarthy. 118 laps in the books. Kyle, I don't think there's any more room left for him to do anything for Dallas Miracle up there in front.
Not the way he's been running off these last few restarts, JD. He just hasn't been able to get off to a good restart and be able to pass people and show his strength like he has throughout the majority of tonight. It shows how important the track position really is here. We talk about how it being a very drafty track, almost super speedway but still, I mean, he hasn't really been able to make the passes and move up through the field the way that he was earlier. Currently sitting in 8th place. He's going to have a very short amount of time to get up to the front. Hopefully this race stays green, though. I think if these guys can get off to a great restart with Dallas, we're going to have a lot of drivers to have a shot to win this race. Currently we got some guys running up front. Gary Bauer, he's been strong all night tonight. Michael Van der Zel has come over some adversity. He is going to restart this race in 3rd place. Colton Berkey has been strong all night long, led some laps earlier on. He's got his dad, Gordon Berkey, up there in 5th place with him. Our points leader, Dale Smalley, is going to be in 6th. Jay Anderson, he's been up there in the top 10 all night, but hasn't really made any impressive moves to get up to the front. But hey, anybody's got a shot. Kevin McCarthy, we've mentioned. Michael Johnson, he came back after a nasty flip, and Garrett Denton in 10th place here to get ready for this final restart with 6 laps to go when we get the green flag.
You bet. And I'd like to throw a shout out to the driver of the number 24 machine here tonight, running in 18th. The last car on the lead lap, that's going to be Alan Larson down there, Cowboy. He is the public relations man for the CORA, Championship Online Racing Association, and I believe he also takes care of the website over at CORA-racing.com. So good shout out to Alan Larson. Good, at least staying on the lead lap here. Looks like he's pretty much out of the contention for anything, even a top 10. But hey, if you can keep all 4 wheels on the ground and point it in the right direction, that's a good night, Cowboy, especially in these open wheel cars. But I think we're getting ready to get things rolling here again. The pace car leading Dallas Miracle and Gary Bauer to the start-finish line here. Keep your eye on that 48. As always, he will probably get the run off of Gary Bauer, but Bauer's been pretty quick up on the top side up here. So one more time, Kyle, maybe this is the last time. Take us to the green flag, dude.
Definitely going to be the last restart of the night here. 6 laps to go. Dallas Miracle looking for one more strong restart. He's been good all night long. Can the field stick with him? Gary Bauer off to a good restart. He said, oh, Colton Berkey slides and spins down through the infield. I don't think the caution has come out yet, but that is a huge huge disappointment for Colton Berkey. He's been strong all night long, made a mistake, and now he doesn't have a shot. Dallas Miracle out to a huge lead off this final restart. It's Gary Bauer and Michael Van Isdal to try to draft to catch him in. A big gap back there from him to Kevin McCarthy now, as Dallas Miracle all out by himself. 5 laps to go, coming to the line.
3x3 going into turn 3 here. I'll tell you what, Cowboys, back here with Garrett Denton, 8th position. Dallas, I believe that was Dale Smalley up on the outside. They were 3x3 going into turns 3 and 4, getting it all squared away. Back out in front, Gary Bauer trying to run down Dallas Markle in that 48 machine. In the meantime, back here with Vandersall and McCarthy. McCarthy up to 4th, into the wall. McCarthy takes a chunk out of the wall, and 4 of them are going to get past him. Kevin McCarthy, working on a top 5 here, was up to 4th position, is now going to drop back to about 6th or 7th when this thing is all over with here. 121 laps in the books. We are past the too late mark here. If the caution flies now, it's game over, Cowboy, as these guys put 122 laps in the books. 3 to go.
JD, there. Gary Bauer and Michael Van Isdal have run up and have caught Dallas Miracle. It's going to be a 3-horse race to battle this one out and fight for the win. Gary Bauer peeking to the inside, trying to make the move. Now he goes to the top side at the entry of turn number 3. Going to be 3 laps to go when they hit the line. Michael Van Isdal still sticking tough behind Gary Bauer. I think Dallas Miracle might be the guy at the advantage. Oh, and the caution comes out and the race is over.
Caution is out and the race is over. Dallas Miracle will go home with the trophy from Michigan. Wow. Roll it back here and try to find out what happened at the point that my caution lights came on here. I'm looking. Still looking, guys. And it's going to be Gordon Berkey in the number 17 machine, 13th position back here in the wall as he rides the fence. Oh, a lot of damage. It looks like Gordon Berkey and I believe James Thorndike hooked tires here. That sent Gordon Berkey up into the wall, and he rides the fence, and that brings out the final caution of the night.
We'll have to figure out here after this race, JD, but I think Gordon Berkey was thinking that he was Herbie the Bug from Herbie Fully Loaded there, as he went up and started driving on the fence a little bit there. A very interesting accident there that'll end this race, but man, that's such a disappointment, JD. I'm honestly a little disappointed at that. I was looking forward to a good finish there. I think Gary Bauer and Michael Van Isdal were definitely going to try their hardest to get around Dallas Miracle there. Unfortunately, their dreams cut just 2 laps short, and they'll have to ride around these last 2 pace laps behind him, wondering if they would have been able to get it done had they had those extra 4 miles to try to get around him and win this race.
You bet. And, it was just a couple of laps prior to that, before the caution came out, that's the 44. I believe it was coming off of turn 4, gets into the wall, ruining any chance for him to be able to run up here and contend with Dallas Markle and Gary Bauer. And that sent him way back, in fact, all the way back to 12th position as McCarthy tried to recover after that wall strike and, get control back of that 44 machine. So tough night for that 44 car here tonight. But I'll tell you what, Cowboy, another tough night for I believe it was the 81 machine of Colton Berkey on that restart. Just tough luck here tonight. Colton able to run up here in the top 3 pretty much all night long, if not the top 5, with another good night. He's going to finish in 17th position here, dropping all the way back with his dad, 17 car Gordon Berkey, who's on pit road. I believe he might have suffered some damage out of that too. But tough night for a lot of these guys. Better night for Dallas Miracle, though, and Gary Bauer for sure.
Yeah, that is a tough right there for the Berkey crew. They were running very, very good tonight, and unfortunately they're going to finish back in the 17th and 18th place positions. That's a shame. They were running so good. And I think Colton really would have had a shot at it had he not have spun off of that restart there. It's a lot of what could have been for a lot of these guys had this race gone green and they didn't make the mistakes that they did. But Dallas Miracle capping off a dominant performance here tonight, and he will win. And JD, I guess that miracle you were talking about isn't going to come true tonight.
Yeah, you think? But I tell you, I got to go back to the kind of racing these guys put on. I mean, besides Bristol, and I wasn't here for the Bristol race, but I did get some feedback from it. I know a lot of guys weren't too happy about the outcome of that one, but you know what? Bristol being Bristol, I've seen these guys run pretty much all season long, and these dudes can put a hell of a race together, no matter what track, what car, where it's at. And you got to check these guys out. Sunday Money Series, CORA-racing.com. Throw a shout out to them. And, if you're interested in winning some serious money, these dudes have it together. One of the few leagues that I've been associated with that can actually put a money series together and be extremely successful with it. So we're talking some serious dough here. A couple, $200-300 for season championships, that kind of thing. So, and I believe they pay positions, I think there's 10 positions that they pay here. So, you're talking some serious money when it comes to a money league. But these Cowboys really know how to do it and do it right, professionally organized, and just a solid outfit.
Yeah, absolutely, JD. These guys getting 30-plus drivers a night. There were 35 last week, 30 tonight, and they will all want a shot at cashing in on some good money. And that is exactly what Dallas Miracle is going to do tonight. He crosses the checkered flag, and it is now official. Dallas Miracle has won here the IndyCar race at Michigan for CORA Sunday Money. Gary Bauer is going to finish second with Michael Vandesdahl, Jay Anderson, Garrett Denton rounding out your top five. Michael Johnson, point leader, Dale Smalley coming home 7th place. Second place in points, Michael Churchma going to come home 8th. So he kind of balances out the point loss for him against the points leader, only finishing one spot. Sean Dower and Galen Gidman going to round out the top 10 for tonight's event.
And as Dallas Miracle comes off of turns 3 and 4 here, he'll come down the front stretch. We'll give him an opportunity to burn what's left of his tires off here at the start-finish line. Give him a little bit of celebration time here before we head off into commercial and round up your top 3 for post-race activities here from Michigan. But what a night of racing. Michigan Speedway, 2-mile track. IndyCar, open wheelers, 225-mile-an-hour cars here. And I tell you what, a good night of racing here. Dallas Miracle burning the tires off here on the start-finish line. With that, we'll give him a couple of seconds, and then let's take it away to commercial break. When we come back, the post-race show here from Michigan Speedway, we'll have your top 3. So we'll see you here in a minute.
It's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4, and the checkered flag, he wins his first NASCAR iRacing.
And we are back live here from Michigan Speedway, and I'll tell you what, it's been one hellacious night of racing here in these open wheel cars. And if you haven't seen this before, dude, you witnessed something pretty fantastic here tonight. But I'm in the victory lane with the driver of the 48 machine, Dallas Miracle. What a miracle night this cowboy had. And Dallas, your restarts, dude, I have not seen anybody nearly as good on the restarts as you. Tell me how it's done.
On the restarts, you just can't be right on the throttle. You gotta take it easy and lean into it, so you don't spin the tires. If you spin them, you're pretty much going for a ride there.
And right from the restart, back at the beginning of the race, take you back, the first, let's say 50 laps. I mean, you set up almost about a 1.5 second lead over everybody else. I mean, do you ever look back in the mirror and wonder who's coming up behind you, or you just concentrate on getting your marks and getting in and getting off, as you work your way around the track?
I was mainly concentrating on my line, but I look back there once in a while and I'd see them fighting instead of lining up and trying to catch up. They were more fighting for second place.
And then, let's take it to the end of the race here. Gary Bauer, Michael Vandersel. I mean, these Cowboys are coming. The 44 pretty much out of the running. He was a threat earlier, but he had a wall strike there in the closing laps and slipped back about 6 or 7 positions. But Gary Bauer, who came on strong second half of the race, tell me about him. Were you looking back in the mirror, looking at that 07?
Yeah, I was looking at that 07. We were working together, us three, trying to draft the whole race, or not the whole race, the last part of the race there, and I thought he was going to make a move, and the caution happened to come out, and he didn't get the chance. I knew he would have been coming.
Well, I'll tell you what, you certainly put on a show here, as you do on pretty much every race I've ever seen you run in. And I got to throw a shout out to you. I love it when you run those cup cars with the Duck Dynasty. I just love the kinfolk on the back of those cars. But I'll tell you what, who makes it happen for you, bud?
I got to thank my teammate there in Double D Racing, Dale Smalley, and I got to thank the guys at the MPR Racing for working together during the race.
Outstanding. I'll tell you what, congratulations on picking up the trophy here from Michigan Speedway. That's Dallas Markle in the 48. I'm going to throw it on down to Kyle Young. He's caught up with Gary Bauer in the number 07.
Indeed, I have, JD. Thank you very much. The number 07 machine, Gary Bauer, coming home second place here tonight. Gary, a very strong night for you. We saw you were very strong on the restarts on the outside. And you and Michael Vandesdal, you guys closed up on Dallas Miracle incredibly on that last restart. Unfortunately, the caution coming out, preventing you from really having a shot to contend. Talk about your night and if you think you could have had something for Dallas had that race gone green the rest of the way.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. We would have taken him down. No, no. We were all working together tonight. I mean, if we could have done it cleanly, maybe we would have made a run at him, but we got together before the race and decided that numbers in this race would be strong, and that if we stuck together, and it worked, it played out very well for us. We ended up first, second, third, fourth, and seventh, I believe. So it was a good job by everybody on the team.
You've had a very successful couple of weeks. Last week you picked up the victory at Bristol in the late model, and this week you come home second place at Michigan with the Indy cars. It's never a bad time to talk about the points picture. With these 2 strong weeks for you, how does that boost your confidence heading into the next week, knowing that you've had some good weeks and you're running good for the points right now, and with the streak that you're having?
Well, I think it's a shame. The first race of the year at Dega, I didn't enter that race until the last chance qualifier, and we had a net code incident that gave me a EOL with 2 laps to go and put me at the back of the field. I was in position to qualify for that race, but because of the net code, I didn't make that. So I missed the first race of the year, and then the following week was Atlanta, which, if you remember, I started on the pole in that race. Had a good strong run with these guys as teammates as well, and ended up third in that one. And then the last 2 weeks, of course, and it takes a lot of luck and really a lot of help from the people on your side.
You talk about a lot of help, and especially at a track like tonight, with the draft being a big factor. At times it seemed like it was important, and at times it seemed like it wasn't. And you could kind of maneuver things around yourself from the cockpit. How was it working with the draft, and was it as important as it seemed?
Oh, it's very important. If the lead car, as you saw a few times, Dallas would get out front, and if the guys behind him were jockeying for position, he just pulled away. And if we got in line, then we could catch him pretty easy. So yet, definitely in these practice races, we were finding that if we could get 2 or 3 cars lined up and stay lined up, you could pull away to a 4, 5, 6, 7-second lead because the people behind you are going to be jockeying for positions. And again, it comes down to patience, just patience and teamwork.
Alrighty, Gary. Well, another great run for you here tonight. A second place finish. Who do you like to thank?
Of course, all my teammates, Michael Vendesal, Jay Anderson, Dale Smalley worked with us tonight, Mark. And of course, the NPR setup analyzer. That's very important in all of our weeks and all of our success. And Dallas Miracle. Thanks, guys.
Second place finisher, the number 07 machine, Gary Bauer, finishing up here. Another strong night, our last week's winner. Coming home second here tonight. JD, I believe you're down with the 83 of Michael Vansdal.
What a race this cowboy had. I'll tell you what, the 83 machine, Michael Vansdal, tell us about your race, bud.
Man, full of ups and downs. Got in a wreck earlier. Got a lap down. Almost went 2 laps down. Got out the pits right before the pace car came out. Actually, the pit lane was closing. Things played out. Got the lucky dog, and then we used pit strategy with Dale and Dallas and my NPR guys, and ended up being up front. And we stayed up here.
You know what? These open wheel cars quite a bit different than driving those cup cars or pretty much anything else on this track. Are they really that difficult to drive here? I mean, you're pretty much flat-footing it all the way around, aren't you?
Pretty much, unless you're right up on the tail end of a guy as you're going drafting into the corner. And 1 and 2, it's a little more tight. You may have to let up a little bit. It's more tough because people are around you, and these cars move side to side so quick. You have to kind of watch who you're around and who you can give more room to, and who you can I guess run a little tighter to.
Well, I'll tell you what, you had a solid run here tonight, and you got the job done. Good, solid top 5 finish for you here tonight. Who makes it happen for you, bud?
All my teammates at NPR, and Dallas and Dale. Dale just got me to come in here. It's my second Sunday Money race, and just like to thank all those guys.
Outstanding. And I'll tell you what, good job to our top 3 here, Dallas Markle for picking up the trophy, Gary Bauer and Michael Vansdal. I brought Carl Jones up here as well, and I believe Carl, don't you have something to do with small town computers? Hello, Carl. Maybe Carl stepped away, but I believe Carl Jones, one of the sponsors for tonight's race, Small Town Computers. Unfortunately, I didn't get enough information from anybody, but absolutely want to make mention Carl Jones and Small Town Computers. I don't have the website or the link, but we'll be sure to get that next time around. But tonight, Kyle, I tell you what, 125 laps at Michigan Speedway in the Indy cars. What a solid night of racing we saw tonight.
Absolutely, JD. We saw one hell of a race for sure. Definitely a race that I wasn't expecting. I didn't think it was very possible at all for a driver to separate himself at a track and at a combination that really requires a lot of drafting. That's something new to me for sure, and it brought for a very interesting race. And as you had mentioned in your interview, I don't think I've ever seen a driver get off to that many solid restarts, lap after lap, caution after caution, just pull away and dominate the field. I mean, Dallas led 104 laps tonight. I mean, he definitely deserved to win. He had something that these guys didn't, and he proved it out on the track. I mean, he showed that if you were going to take this win away from me, you were really going to have to work your butt off to do it. And nobody else was able to do that. And congrats to Dallas. He dominated tonight's race and definitely deserves to hoist that trophy up high and be happy about it.
You bet. And I got Steve from Small Town Computers on the line here. Steve, wanted to throw a shout out for Small Town sponsoring the race here tonight. Small Town Computers 250 here at Michigan. Throw a shout out for your deal there, bud.
Oh, no problem. Hey, we're in southern Michigan. The website is smalltownpc.net, but we do remote access and remote virus removal anywhere in North America.
outstanding. And apologize for not getting a whole lot of information about that here tonight, but I saw you down there, wanted to drag you up and at least let you say something about what you do here tonight. Small town computers, and that virus removal, pretty important stuff, guys. So you want to get on that here. And get that taken care of. But from Michigan Speedway, that's going to do for us. Next time we see back here with CORA, we're going to be in Watkins Glen, dude. I'll tell you what, that ought to be something to watch too. So, and I think they're going to be in the trucks at the Glen, and that'll be really fun to watch. That'll be on September 15th, live on ETV Live. You can catch the calendar at etv-eplay.net. So for Laura Lawson down the trailer pushing the buttons on the camera for you tonight, Kyle Young sitting up here in the booth next to me. This is the Cowboy, JD Webb. That's it from Michigan. We'll see you next time.